welcome to Storytime with Miss Andrea, reading on behalf of the Loveland Public Library. As always, before we read stories, we have to get our wiggles out. Can you stand up for me, please? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my ears. And I wiggle my nose. I wiggle my shoulders. I wiggle my chin. Mama, 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 mama. I stretch my arms wide and I pull them back in. I wiggle my elbows. I wiggle my knees. I hop like a bunny. And I smile and say, cheese. Now I have no more wiggles left in me, and I'll sit on the floor as still as can be. So, we're going to read a book about one of my favorite foods today. This is by Aisha Saeed, and it's illustrated by Anoosha Syed, and it's called Bilal Cooks Daal. Bilal is biking outside with his friends when his father steps out of the house. Bilal, it's time to begin cooking dinner, says Abu. Bilal's friend asks why they would need to start cooking dinner so early. Excuse me. The dish takes patience, Abu says. This dish takes time. It's the best meal of all, says Bilal. It's dal. What's dal like? Is it salty? Does it taste really good? Dal is nutty and creamy and warm like soup. There are all different kinds. Come see. You can help us pick which one. They take off their shoes. They wash their hands. Bilal grabs his favorite stool. They study the colors. Yellow, orange, green. Yellow, Elias says, because yellow is sunflowers, rubber ducks, and the sun. And chana dal is my favorite, Bilal says. Oh, there's brown too. When Abu scoops out a cup of the bright yellow dal, it clatters into the bowl. They're small like pebbles, but shaped like pancakes, and they slip through Bilal's finger like sand. They line up the spices. Bilal breathes in the scent of turmeric, chili, cumin. Morgan sprinkles the salt. Elias tries to help. Bilal combines the spices. Abu pulls out a pot, the biggest one they have. It looks funny, Morgan frowns. It smells funny, whispers Elias. Do you think it will taste okay? And suddenly, Bilal's a little bit worried, a little tiny bit worried that maybe, just maybe, his friends might not like dal at all. Is it ready? Asks Elias. Can we taste? Asks Morgan. No, Abu explains. Dal takes time. We have to wait. The flavors mix together slowly. You kids go play and have fun while it cooks. They run outside to play hopscotch. Elias numbers the sidewalk to 20. Let's make it longer, to 100, he says. It'll definitely be done by then. So they hop, skip, jump to the end. Caleb and Emma join too. Let's check if it's ready. Let's go take a bite. Not yet, Bilal tells them. Dal takes time. We have to wait. So they put on swimsuits, slip down the slide, and cannonball into Morgan's pool. Elias floats. Morgan dives. Some more neighborhood kids join them, and they all play Marco Polo. Marco Polo. Is the dal done? Asks Morgan. It's got to be ready by now. Bilal squints at the sun. It's not as high in the sky. Almost, he tells them. Dal takes time. We have to wait. They hike through the forest and skip pebbles in the stream. The sun starts to set. As they watch the fireflies glow, they hear Abu call out, Bilal, it's almost time. They march up the cobblestone and steps and they knock on the yellow door. And as loud as they can, they ask, "Is it done?" "Come see," Abu smiles and opens the door wider. The kids rush inside. Bilal lifts up the lid. He peeks in the pot. Ready for the final steps. They dice up the onions, chop ginger, press garlic, squeeze lemons, and top it all off with fresh cilantro. Bilal pulls out plates and sets out the naan. And naan is bread. The kids pull up every chair in the house. Bilal watches his friends take a spoonful of dal. "It's steamy," says Morgan. "Like soup," says Elias. "It tastes garlicky and salty and sweet. I like the onions. I like the lemon. And the way it's so creamy, it melts in your mouth." Dal takes time. We had to wait, but Bilal, you were right. Dal tastes great. Dal looks at his dad and smiles. Abu winks. "Tasty, isn't it?" he says. "Like my Ami once made. My friends and I helped her once, like you." Dal is tiny. Dal is tough, but with a little time and a lot of patience, it becomes the softest, tastiest, best thing in the whole wide world. And the best part is sharing it with friends. And that's why Bilal loves dal so much. The end. And lentil dal is one of Miss Andrea's favorite foods as well. We're gonna do a song. It's gonna name a bunch of different foods, but let's see if it sounds like something else. Coffee, 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 coffee. Fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips. Cheese and crackers, cheese and crackers, cheese and crackers, cheese and crackers. Meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. Soup, soup, soup. Does it sound like a train? A little bit. Let's get our clapping hands out and say goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as high as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as low as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as fast as we can. Bye, 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 bye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as slow as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as quiet as we can. Goodbye. For those who might want it. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as loud as we can. Goodbye. Thank you so much for coming to Storytime. See you soon.